Hello, I think I'm live. Gonna refresh my page real quick, make sure this is working. I was hoping I knew what format to broadcast in from my profile page. Hey, I'm Christine Parma, and I am of ChristineParma.com, and I am here with your pre-weekend mindset reset, because we know the inner game is as important or even more important than the outer game of being in business for yourself or creating simply a life filled with joy and one that you really, really love. So today I wanted to talk to you about how to uncover or discover the unique gifts that you are meant to share with the world and why it's so critically important that you do. And like my business trainings that I do here on Facebook Live, I am also going to give you action steps, because although I'm woo, I can be woo and spiritual, I like to have a practical application of it as well, for the most part. So hey, thanks for the likes. Welcome, Lindsay. So glad that you joined. Yeah, I'm trying it for my profile page. I want to just change things up for these mindset resets. So I want to start with a story that I'm hoping you can relate to. Hey, Lindsay. So back in about 2007 to 2009 time period, I was working with a guy named T. Harv Eker. You may have heard of him. He's a best-selling author, personal development guru, super successful, big name. I won't go into the story of how that came about, because that is a whole huge story in and of itself. But I then decided I wanted to become a mom, right? And have kids, and I got pregnant way faster than I thought I would, and I was kind of like, oh no, I'm doing this work I love so very, very, very much, and I'm pregnant, and it was just, there was so much travel, I really wouldn't be able to continue doing that work. So I ended up stopping working for him on my baby's due date and transitioned into mamahood, like so many of us moms do. Hey, Kim, welcome. Thank you for joining. And really threw myself into motherhood. I think that's what, a lot of, especially really ambitious women do. They're like, well, I'm going to be just as dedicated to my child, maybe even more so than I was to my job. And I'm going to make the organic baby food myself. And I'm going to do all the black and white patterns to stimulate his brain. I'm going to read all the books, and all of that good stuff. And that's exactly what I did. And what I found was I kind of lost a pretty big part of me in that nothing like motherhood, for the highest calling. Yeah, and I'm going to be a little controversial in some of the opinions that I'm expressing, because, I kind of sidetrack. For me, what I've discovered is motherhood itself is not enough to fulfill me. And this really, thank you for bringing that up, Lindsay, because this really segues into talking about the gifts that you have to share with the world and why it's so important. So hi, Alianka, welcome. I kind of lost myself in the motherhood, and I kind of lost sight and connection to my own dreams and like what, my gifts were, say, beyond being a mom. And I think that it's really easy to happen, and really easy to kind of let your life drift along, get too busy. And this can be whether it's motherhood or something else. You get really busy and caught up in something you're doing, but you kind of lose the connection to what's really important to you sometimes in that busyness and in that narrow focus. Hi, Jax. Welcome so much. Not women are as honest as you. Well, I have been accused more than one time of being a little blunt. I'm kind of speaking my mind, and that's what I do. So I am. So that's what this is going to be too. When it came time, when I got to the point, I started realizing, feeling like there was something more that I needed to do. And I did what a lot of women do, I think, or a lot of people do. I latch onto a project, right? I came up with a project and it can be volunteerism. I did that, threw myself into volunteering. I came up with, all these different ways to try and fulfill, thank you, Jax, the world could use a lot more honesty, I think so. Fulfill this need that I was feeling like, yeah, motherhood is great, and I had a very hard transition into motherhood. I won't get into that right now. But, it's not like I didn't love my child, and then I had a second child, but there was something more. I felt this need to do something more, that I wasn't somehow fully expressing myself and my gifts, and there was something else. So I actually, took up a project, a baby project. Not surprising. I think a lot of parents, and especially moms, do that. They're kind of immersed in the baby world, so they come up with some kind of project or business idea that's based on kids, on babies, and so did I. So I invented a new baby bib. Why not? I invented a new baby bib, and I worked on that project for like 6 years. So first clue that maybe you're not expressing building a business around a gift that's really what I believe is your God-given or divine-given gift to share with the world, is if you're kind of procrastinating about it, or if it takes you kind of a really long time and maybe you're not feeling totally enthusiastic about it. But in my mind, I had to do something, and that's what it was. So I kind of puttered along with this baby bib idea, even like got the domain name, trademark, logo, all of that. But here's the thing. Life works in a very zigzag pattern, I think, to get you where you need to be, to have aha moments, and to realize, to learn lessons that you need to learn to further your spiritual path and fulfill your soul's purpose. And so this baby bib got me to a conference in Dallas, Texas, with Natalie Lucier back in May of 2015. And I had to justify it to myself every which way, up and down, that I could spend the money to do that. And it happens, my parents live there, so that was the final thing where I'm like, yeah, I can invest this time away and be away from my kids because I'm going to go visit my parents too. Another topic about how we always have to justify doing things. Some people feel the need to justify investing in themselves and doing things that feel good to you, whether it's self-care, whether it's investing in your business or investing in your dream. Another topic. So I got to this conference. Clue number 2, that you're not maybe on path with sharing the gifts that you're really meant to share. Yes, Jax, I do believe everything happens for a reason. Sometimes you can't see it in hindsight. Often, I think we can't see it until we've got some time that's passed and can see the path and how it went. And what happened was people started, I'd talk about my baby bib, and they'd be like, okay, yeah. And then they'd say something, and I'd start talking about the work that I had done with Harv in a way more like of sharing my advice. They're like, oh, I want to put together my own retreat, or I want to put together my own program. And I'm like, oh, well, you should do this, and you should do this, and you should do this, and this is really important. Hi, Aruna. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Welcome. And they're like, and suddenly people, and I noticed it. That's the first thing, is you need to be aware of the feedback you're getting from the universe. People started saying, well, why aren't you doing that? Why are you messing around with this baby bib thing? And I was like, that's interesting. Like, why am I messing around with this baby bib? And like, why am I not sharing this knowledge that I had accumulated and all these lessons I learned while I was working with Harv Eker? Jack says, it's okay to be selfish from time to time. Being selfish is taking care of yourself, and it's not a bad thing. Totally agree. Hi, welcome. Is it Neha? Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Thank you for being here. So, and more people kept telling me, you need to share these things that you know. The baby bib is not it for you. I mean, they didn't say it in so many words, but enough people were saying that I really started paying attention. And that is clue number 2. Are people telling you you're really good at something, or what you know is really valuable, and it's not something maybe you're doing right now? And maybe you're discounting that as a real gift, or that it might be something of value to the world because it comes easily to you. This is a big trap I think people can fall into. We think that just because something's easy for us, it's easy for us to see or do, and that it's not valuable. And it's not a real gift that's worthwhile, worth sharing. And I think the opposite. When something comes easily to you, that's a sign that it's your gift or one of your gifts to share. And it's probably not easy for other people. And therefore, it's one of the reasons that it makes it valuable, because other people struggle with it and you can actually provide value and be of service by helping them with something that comes easily to you that's not so easy for them. So yes, Aruna says, I know this one, right. But we don't, it's like I think we discount our gifts and our values and we diminish them, even unconsciously sometimes, because it's too easy. So to, kind of continue with the story is I got this feedback and I was thinking, why am I not doing this? Why am I not sharing my gifts? And then what happens? What happens a lot? Fears come up, right? And I went into the self-doubt. Well, I'm not really an expert in that. I mean, I had this experience and we did all these great things and I learned all this stuff, but I don't have letters after my last name. I don't have, I'm not a guru. I'm not a, #1 best-selling author. Like, who am I to share this information or try and teach people about it or help people with it? And that was something that I had to work through. Hi, Ryan. Welcome. Oh, thank you. He says you have a great and refreshing outlook. I wish I could keep listening, but I have to drive. Catch the replay. And you know what? If you have questions or comments, feel free to post them now or on the replay, because I will answer each and every one of them and get back to you. And a lot of times when you're working for someone else, you're starting off, whether it's in a corporate job or you're a behind the scenes person like I was for kind of a superstar, then you can get to that place where you doubt your own ability to shine. That it's like, oh, can I really step into the spotlight? Can I be the person who is helping other people? And yes, I want to say yes, you can, and yes, you should, because just because you're not a superstar, quote unquote, or an expert or the top person in your field doesn't mean that you don't have value to share and that you can't help people. And this is, it's a big mindset shift to really kind of get over yourself, right? Get over your fears so that you can actually just simply take action and act from a place of service and act from a place of contribution to the world. Thank you for the like. I want to say, I'm not going to continue with the story, but the short story is I started doing this work. And even now, what I'm finding too is maybe the round 1 or round 2 or round 10, you don't maybe have a really clear picture of what your gifts are, but through the process of helping people, of sharing your message, of just talking about it, you can get clearer and clearer and clearer on what it is that fulfills you, number 1, brings you joy, and is of value to the world. And there's, right now I'm in the middle of a transition and a shift, and kind of realigning what I do with what's near and dear to my heart, which is mamapreneurs. Jack, let's see, the next step. It's important for strong women like yourself to serve as that example. Thank you. Oh, hey, Laurel, welcome. Laurel says sometimes even when you have initials before and after your name, you can lose your way and forget your gifts, or that you feel like you have no value. Absolutely, right? I just wrote a blog post. I encourage you guys to check it out on my website. It's called The High Cost of Being an Overachiever, and it's very much about that, Laurel. And again, I'm writing from my heart. I'm writing what I'm going through and experiencing, more of that in addition to kind of the hardcore, more business type trainings. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you're getting value from it. So in this path to discovering and uncovering what your gifts are, there will be iterations. There will be pivots. You make adjustments. Tap into your intuition. And I think, the universe will answer those questions. Sometimes you get kind of a divine download and it's answered in your head. Sometimes that comes through feedback that your friends, the outside world is giving you. Just like I got at that conference where people are like, why are you messing around with this Baby Bib project? You should be doing this other thing. Sharing your knowledge about how to package up your brilliance into signature programs, or create amazing retreats, or create core offers that really connect with your dream client, and how to kind of navigate being, living your purpose and being in business for yourself. And this is one of the pieces that I'm going to be talking a lot more about, because being an entrepreneur, tough road. It can be very tough, and there, especially for me, like being a mom. I have 2 boys, juggling the mamapreneur thing, being a mom and being a business owner and being successful and feeling great about both. I don't always. Honest, I don't always feel great about that. Hi, welcome, Shelley. And it's something I'm working on. I've figured out some pieces, and I'm still figuring out a whole lot. And I'm going to be sharing about it in hopes that it helps some people. So your gifts. Number 1, how do you uncover them? What gives you joy? What fulfills you? What would you love to do? Number 2, what comes easily to you? What are some things that you found that you do really well and you really like doing, but maybe you've kind of tossed them aside saying, oh, well, that's not really something somebody would pay me for because it's just too easy. This kind of, I won't go into the whole mindset around you have to work hard for money, but that's one of the underlying beliefs that may be kind of tripping you up or sabotaging you. That you have to work hard for money, so something that comes easily to you is not valuable, because then you're not working hard for your money, right? If it's easy. Aruna says, oh, I'm loving this. Okay, but gotta go. We'll catch the rest on the replay. I'm going to be wrapping up in just a second. Number 3, I will look for the external feedback from people. What are people telling you that you're really good at? And that they see that when you talk about it, it lights you up. That's the feedback that I got. And I was like, it was kind of like the forehead slap moment, like, duh, why didn't I think about this before? But I didn't, and sometimes it takes people telling you from the outside. So start making a list of those things, and then the steps that come after that from a practical business perspective is, starting to explore, hey, will people actually pay you for this? Is it something people actually want? What need is there out there that people really want fulfilled and need a solution to it? And then how can you provide that solution? Jack says, it's important to ensure that women get the opportunities that they deserve. Got to make sure that the talents that they have aren't kept under wraps. Thank you, Jax. I totally agree that they aren't kept under wraps. So the why is it so important? Thank you, Jax, for reminding me of this piece that I wanted to include. Why is it so important that you actually express your gifts during this lifetime? I mean, it can kind of sound like a duh question, but so many people aren't, I think, they're kind of mired in comfort, and they're not really out there expressing their highest potential and living into their highest potential. Hi, Sharona. I hope I'm saying it correctly. And Rodney. Hi, Rodney. So why is it important? So my belief is that, number 1, we have multiple lives. But aside from that we have a spirit, and you have a soul, and your soul is in this lifetime to learn a particular thing and express that gift that you're here to share. Sharona says, yes, I love these questions. What things bring you joy? What comes easily to you? What do you do well? Yes. Hi, Janice. Welcome. So let's assume for a minute that you're here for a purpose, that your life, you've incarnated into this body for a purpose. And this whole life is about you discovering what that purpose is, learning as you go, and expressing yourself along the way. So it's important from a very practical standpoint too, I think, because if you're not putting yourself out there and making yourself more visible from, not only a business standpoint, but from a sharing your gifts standpoint, the people who want and need your help won't be able to find you, right? I mean, if T. Harv Eker had not been standing on that stage sharing what he felt was his message, and when he started off zero, right? No clients, no customers, no name, no nothing, then I wouldn't have seen him. My life entirely changed, dramatically shifted through the programs that he offered in my experience of working with him. And I was in a very, very bad place when I met him. And I wouldn't have gotten that healing, that transformation that I needed. And the same goes for you. Jack says society tends to hate on women and their achievements. For whatever reason, we need to bring change to that mindset. Totally agree. And part of bringing change to that mindset is more women, more people in general, more men and women stepping up and saying, you know what, I don't have to prove my value by anything I do. I am valuable just as I am in what I share, in what I give, and how I work with people. If you're in business for yourself, is a value in and of itself. And I think you can start to become really confident in that, even if you're a newbie, through your commitment to serving people, your commitment to helping your clients, your commitment to bettering yourself and fully expressing yourself. No one can question your commitment if you're 100% committed, right? You don't have to be the top expert. And it's frankly your commitment to your clients that will make all the difference to them, right? When you serve fully and from your heart, that's what makes all the difference. Sharona says, I feel you were speaking specifically to me because I struggle with putting myself out there and understanding my gifts. Thank you for saying that. That, again, right? I'm just going to be talking here. I'm going to be sharing my perspective, and I hope that it serves at least one person. So there you go. Just by putting yourself out there, you don't know who doesn't even tell you that it helped them and you completely changed their lives, right? So it's critically important, not only, I think, for your soul, for yourself to feel fulfilled, and for you to feel like you're living a life worth living, like your life matters. It's not only important for those reasons that you share your gifts and you put yourself out there, but from if you take the perspective of the people who will benefit from what you share, from what you help them work through, in whether it's through business or whatever way you do that. Hi, Julie, welcome. Think from their perspective. If you might be the person who says something at just the right time, in just the way you do it, that completely changes their life or shifts their mindset so that it opens up a whole world of possibilities for them. And you can't, in a way, if you're not sharing your gifts, if you're not getting out there, you're being kind of selfish. I don't want to guilt trip you here. That's not what it's meant to do. But I think if you can shift your perspective to kind of think of it from that way, that's one thing that helped me shift. I'm like, oh my gosh, if I'm not sharing my message, if I'm not talking about what's important to me, if I'm not offering my services, and asking people to work with me, I'm not giving them the opportunity to maybe have a shift and a major transformation in their life. And kind of, that's selfish, because I've been helped by so many people who were out there sharing their message and were making offers. You may or may not have watched some of the other live streams, but when I went to T. Harv Eker's first introductory live event called the Millionaire Mind Intensive, he made an offer for an $11,000 package of programs. At the time, I was over my eyeballs in debt. Logically, didn't make sense. I thank God he made that offer and that invitation to work with him and be in his programs, because that's exactly what changed my life. That's what got me out of debt, because I was working on the inner stuff that led me to the big O opportunity. Opportunity with a gigantic O, to work with him, that led me to the work that is I believe, my soul's purpose and my expression of my highest potential during this lifetime. And had he not been out there sharing, I never would have had that, right? I don't see how, I would have had that. And for some reason, it was him I connected with. For some reason, it will be you that people connect with because you're saying just the thing they need to hear at just the right moment. And they don't care whether you're a top expert. They don't care if you're #1 best-selling author. They don't care about the letters after your name. They care about your authenticity, your the way that you are, and the way that you help them. And that's all unique to you, because nobody has your life experience. So Jack says, people are intimidated by strong women, and this may cause some women to back off. They shouldn't. Hey, not my problem, right? An MP. If I have to worry about whatever everybody else thinks, then I wouldn't really be doing this, right? It's another thing about sharing your gifts. Don't worry about what other people think. Some people are going to love it. Some people aren't going to love it. And I'm okay with that personally, and you should be okay with that too. Can't please everybody. And if you structure your life around trying to please everybody, not only will you fail in doing that, you'll drive yourself Coco Loco, right? You'll be crazy. Recipe for not being happy right there, trying to please everybody else. Another topic. Thanks, Jack, for giving me the idea. Jax, I should say, for giving me the idea. So, discovering your gifts. It's really uncovering your gifts because you already have them there. Just sometimes you need to do a little digging to find them. So I encourage you to start making a list of what comes easily to you, what brings you joy, what if people told you that you're really, really good at. Start letting those percolate, in your heart and in your mind, and ask for feedback. Not only asking people for feedback, like, hey, people that might be your ideal clients, hey, would this be something that would be valuable to you? But ask the universe. I'm constantly saying and reminding myself to ask, and I'm asking, please show me my next step. I'm ready for my next step now. And it's been amazing what's been coming up for me. It's the reason I'm doing these live streams. It's the reason that I'm transitioning and shifting in my business. Thank you, Jax, for your comment. Yes, put yourself first. And Rodney, I love your message. Keep up your great work. Thank you so much. If you love it, please share it. Please share the video. The more people out there who are expressing their divinely given gifts with the world in whatever way that shows up for you, whether it's through a business, whether it's not through a business, the more people that are happy and truly feel fulfilled in themselves first, the better the world will be. I truly, truly believe that. So I'm going to end it here for today and know that I've committed to, and I'm super excited about doing 2 live streams every week. One's going to be more practical business building advice, but I'm also wanting to incorporate and feeling called to incorporate more of these kind of shares. The mindset, the talking about the intangibles of being in business for yourself, or just being in life with yourself, right? And all that goes along with that. So I hope you found it of value. If you did, you can like my page on Facebook at Christine Parma Fan, so you get notified of the trainings that I'll be doing from that page. And I tried today from my personal profile. I think it was great. So thank you for the like, and thank you, Laurel. I'll answer a question just one second, Jack. I'll be doing more broadcasts, I think, from this profile page. I think Jack said, do you have a regular time for these? Sort of. I'm trying to have a regular time, and I'm not going to beat myself up about not being spot on, about the exact time. So it is about this time. It's going to be between, because I am half a world away from the U.S. watchers. I'm in Vietnam for you guys that don't know yet. So it'll be around between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern time will be the start time. I'll try and start closer to 8 p.m. Eastern on, Thursday for you guys. And the business trains on Monday at about the same time. Sharon says, this is so great. You're motivating me to do live streams too. I put it off for a year, Sharona. And it took me, I had to get this shift that happened. And now I'm doing them and I'm loving them. I don't know what I was so scared about before. It makes me nervous, but I'm doing it anyway. Good. Awesome for you that you're doing it. So yes, Jax, I'm really working hard to have a regular time, like down to the spot on minute. And I'm not going to beat myself up if I'm a couple minutes late because I'm getting the kids off to school in the morning. So I will work on having exactly a regular time, and I'll be sending out a notification on my profile page and also on my business page. Give you a few minutes heads up of when I'm going to go live. So, right, iterate, improve, keep on going, and that's the biggest thing is you got to keep on going. If it's what you love, keep on going with it, because I think that's how the divine tells you you're on the right path, that it brings you joy and fulfillment. Jack says, wow, Vietnam. Yes, I know. Recent move, just about 4 months ago. So anyway, I know I tend to go on. So if you have comments, you have questions still, feel free to post them on the replay comments. I will answer you personally, and I would love to hear what you think. And if you got value from it, share it. Thank you so much for being here. It has been my honor to share this message, and I'll be back next week with more for you guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, Jack says, can you let me know 24 hours before? I will try, Jack. I will try, Jax. I will try to do that. Take care. Bye-bye.